So I think we have to really change things so that investors, people who don't work but who live off of their wealth and the gains from their wealth, pay taxes just like people who work for a living and get a paycheck and have taxes deducted from a paycheck every single week.
What do you think of the idea of where that tax cutoff needs to be thought of? Because when back in the Occupy Wall Street days of 2011, people were talking about the 99% versus the 1%. But the reality is it's the top 10th of 1%, the top 16,000 people in America who are really having the greater wealth inequality these days. So what are your thoughts on that line, where the line's drawn?
We think the line should be around $1 million a year. We don't think that people who make five figures should pay. We think people who make five figures should pay less taxes than they do now. And we honestly don't think that people with six-figure income should be paying more taxes either. We think it's those small number of people that make over around $1 million a year should be paying more taxes, and that there should be even higher brackets as you go to even higher incomes. I think part of the thing is that so many Americans, they can't even conceive of these things. I was asked, at one event someplace, how it is that Jeff Bezos is a billionaire because he only makes $200,000 a year. I'm thinking that's so irrelevant, for a guy who owns Amazon, whether he makes a salary or not. And I think this is just so beyond the normal kind of experience.
I'm just going to interrupt, Morris. I think this is the problem. The problem is that it's not tax. The problem is information. If all the world was aware of how everything's stacked against them, then we may be moving towards some form of change. But just the very thought that somebody who's a billionaire doesn't pay any tax, and then people who are, I have a tiny little pension. I've still got to pay tax on that. But is that fair? Yes, because there are things that I have to contribute towards. But when you have billionaires who are not paying any tax, how many people actually on this planet are aware of that? It's nice for us to sit and talk about it, all chummy, but what about telling the world about it? Because the revolution will start the next day when people wake up to that fact.